Welcome back once again to the EU Pro League Season 3, Day 1 for Europe. At least Allied will be joining me for the second game of Hungry for More versus Leftovers. Leftovers went up 1-0. Don't forget, we've also still got Fnatic versus Dignitas, which should be a spicy encounter, as you would say, later on today.
Spicy.
You like spice?
It's
and
okay.
Crisp.
Crisp is my,
Crisp as well.
Crisp.
So, Game 1, Leftovers win after 64 minutes. Game 2, you want to see...
80 minutes.
You want to see 80 minutes?
Yeah, let's just go. Come on. Let's bring it.
Okay.
I'm down.
Okay. As long as it's that entertaining, I'm okay. Well, let's go and pick some bands and find out what's going to be. Oh, we're not going to go and pick some bands. I'm lying. I apologize. We're not ready just yet. So, Leftovers versus Hungry for More.
Yes.
Game 2, what do you do differently as Hungry for More? You lost Game 1, and to be fair, I want to say that blink from CaptainTwig kind of hurt him a lot. That blink initiation.
It's very hard to tell where Leftovers were doing wrong. Really, the biggest thing was their call for Soul Lane Tier 1. Remember? They 5-man dove it, and then all died. And then Hungry for More pushed Tier 2s and got both, right?
Yeah.
So the biggest thing was that, like, Hungry for More needs to make sure they don't give Hungry for More any kind of momentum. Take that early game advantage. Easily, they had way better early game. It might have been fluke, but Cherryo was playing strong. Cherryo was like,
he had
hot.
a very good game.
He's a hot boy.
And he knew when to go in and when to stay out of the engagements too, for the most part, didn't he? Like, you saw him like, I'm going to die, so let's try and do something fancy and find a killing response.
Yeah, play around your mid jungle if you're leftover, and then get some nice mid to late game comps going on, and they should have this 2-0.
Well, here we go. Picks and bans. Game 2 underway. Leftovers will be first pick, first ban. So on the opposite side of the map this time, play from the order side. They're going to ban away Geb, which we saw, I believe, get banned away last game as well.
Yeah, it
and
seems like
Capri.
no one wants to deal with the shields. No one wants to deal with the cataclysms, and Capri's kind of auto-banned. We know this from NA going into EU, and I love this. The Raijin, I felt like Captain. Well, I felt like PrettyPriMe did a little bit too much with it. You want to limit him down.
Not in terms of damage, but escapability. He used his escapes very well.
It was definitely annoying, especially with the ult bringing so much utility. It's a taunt, it's a fear, it's burst damage, like just cracking my brain as Neith is first picked away here for the Leftovers.
Leftovers, once again, going to go for not necessarily mobility, but global presence is the big key here. They went with the Janus and the Athena last game.
So,
they've taken Neith this
Ra
game.
was first banned last time against the Leftover. That might be Cherryo's.
Now, the reason this is because Cherryo in the mid lane, he's very good with his snipes, and him and London Conspiracy, they used to play Neja Ra at the LAN, if you remember.
Yeah.
At the Super Regionals, where they used Neja ult, land, Ra snipe in the face.
Is that really worth first, second picking? I mean, I
don't know.
respect
That's your call,
I think they recognized that Leftover might have gone for something else instead of Ra, so they Hungry for More first pick, second pick Ra Athena, and really, can they get the setup to make this Ra worth it? And can PrettyPriMe make this Ra work?
That's the question. Janus locked in with Neith, so Badgah is going to have some global rotation on his team once again. But himself, he'll be playing the Sobek this time.
I figured as much, especially after the last game. Cherryo was a hot boy, played amazing, and really, why would you stray away from the Janus after a performance like that? Really, he was one of the biggest reasons why they were able to come back, especially with the kind of rush down mid lane with the Janus ult. Like, that was key. So that's why I was kind of questioning the Ra pick, because I'm pretty sure Leftovers wouldn't have gone for it after the first game performance.
It's a very good call, and now CaptainTwig going to get his Thor for himself as we go to the counterban phase. Guan Yu Neja taken off the table by Hungry for More. And now it's back over to the Leftovers once again with How You taken away. They're also going to take away Variety's tier here as well. Respect to Variety's tier.
Yeah, and really that was kind of like the big reason why Hungry for More were doing so much. Nika was having a hard time, like, just kind of getting anything off in that game.
And Amy this time, Amaterasu is going to get through. It was banned out last ban phase. This time it's going to get through and picked up.
Yeah, Amaterasu being a pretty big, pretty big initiation warrior last time. It was Guan and her were banned out. So these are big initiation warriors that bring a lot of team fight utility to the team, as well as just dive potential.
Talk about dive potential. Ravan has been locked in here as well for that solo lane for the Leftovers against Amaterasu. And Chiron will be the final pickup for Hungry for More here. So we'll see Chiron versus Neith with How Ye banned away. That's kind of the trilogy of like hunters we're seeing, although we saw a little bit of Anher yesterday as well.
Yeah. And really, with this Chiron's safe laning phase, you're not going to do anything crazy. You're probably going to farm into the mid to late game, especially against Neith. The biggest thing is, can they punish this Neith from kind of going out of control with the global ult presence? But it's going to be tough because with Sobek Neith, that's also kill potential.
real kill potential, especially if you get the charge prey off into the root coming out from Arkkyl as well. Do have an opportunity there for the leftovers. As we're now into game once again, just checking with itemizations once more. Relics in regards to the supports, especially because they're the ones that change the most. We see a curse picked up early by Badgah here. And what will we see come out of Zindurn? Because Zindurn generally leaves the base early, puts a ward down, then goes back to pick up his relic afterwards. So just keep an eye on what relic he picks up there between the two. But on paper, how are you feeling about the teams here, Allied?
It's hard. I'm scared of this Robin pick. Very early game dominant pick, but does fall off by the mid to late game. Can become borderline useless, and
Why does he become a useless late game?
He just doesn't really fulfill any kind of specific area. Like
Okay.
his ult is like not initiation. Doesn't really have any kind of other use besides just going in, right? And it does fall off significantly in damage. His root is very hit or miss, and late game it doesn't really cause any kind of a beads use, right?
Okay.
His one definitely falls off in damage if you're not going the full damage build, and really it's a weak slow compared to how much everything else can slow you by late game. So his ability based damage falls off, and he becomes kind of like a big meat shield. And that's the big thing. His immunity is great, and that's always awesome, but that's really the only thing going for him. So, and Nika had a hard problem like getting off last game. He couldn't really get anything going. So it's scary. I really want to see him be a little bit early game dominant and transition to mid to late game with a good advantage over Verity.
Well, right now, Hungry for More taking the right-hand Harpies here and go for the blue buff for the time being as well. So left-hand Harpies will once again be contested between the mid laners. And the talking point here again, Allied, is like when you just played a long game, 60+ minutes, to go all the way back to level 1 again, can you make the mistake of over-aggressing sometimes because of that? Does that happen?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Just like, oh, I forgot I was level 1.
I mean, these are high-pressure situations. This is interesting, by the way. I would like to point out, jungler, instead of going mid lane for contesting mid Harpies, went for the soul lane.
I'm going to take away ball?
Yeah, this will help. Definitely Nika skyrocket ahead in his lane, especially against Amaterasu. You want to get as much of the lead as possible. Amaterasu has already a horrible early game, so you know, spiking me a little bit more, it might be necessary. And
Cherryo's just going to play this lane very, very safe then for the most part and just be very, very careful. Jungler's still hanging around here, going aggressive on Variety now as they're looking to try and pick up this Amaterasu, but Amaterasu can take some poke. Not too much to write home about though, but Variety staying in this mix here and took a little bit too extra. I don't think he needs to take as much as he did.
You can tell he's mad.
Fine.
That's a mad play. Turn around, slash.
Yep.
No, it wasn't. Probably wasn't mad trying to get as much damage as jungler was rotating out. But yeah, this is going to affect him.
Here.
This is going to affect him, especially. He's still. This is dedication, really. Dedication at its finest.
Now he's going to give all this farm to Cherryo in the mid lane, but he's going to make Nika lower level by doing this, right?
And I don't know if I necessarily. I agree with the invade on boars,
yeah.
And then I think jungler should transition into a mid jungle play. But the biggest thing is Cherryo is playing amazing, and obviously Verity is not making any kind of big mistakes. So why would you not play around your strengths of your mid-jungle synergy with Cherryo?
But then, like, Raven should be technically stronger earlier against Amaterasu, correct?
Yeah, I mean, like,
and you're taking farm away from Raven early and allowing Amaterasu to get ahead early, technically, by doing this, because you're staying away for so many waves.
Yeah, the biggest lead here was taking the boar.
Okay.
And if they can keep taking the boar, it might give Nika a lead that he needs. As look, he's already putting the slap down.
Yeah.
Putting the slap down.
Over and over again. Well, we've not spoken about the duo lane yet, as Variety hits level 5 first, just because of the extra farm he got in the lane alone. The duo lane, the two hunters here, two different builds coming out. Bluestone for Arkkyl on the Neith, and meanwhile, it looks like we're seeing potentially, well, we're definitely seeing as a gank comes in, I don't even see that one coming. Twig goes in, but immediate response from Badgah with that charge play saves today through space and time, fired off by Cherryo.
That was sick.
Subsides. It was a great charge play.
Young Badgah showing his great reaction skills. Immediately, the Thor landed. He was right outside. Pluck on reaction. That was key because that could have been first blood immediately if it wasn't played correctly like that.
Indeed, and a good save from Badgah's left-hand side. Nika trading off with Variety in the jungle. Aggression from Nika here, but it's Variety that's putting the poke pressure back on. They're going to have a little boxing match for a minute. Variety realizing, though, that he'll start losing that trade after a few seconds, and back to farming we go. But talk about the hunter builds anyway, because these are interesting builds.
So we're taking a look at the hunters. Did you see the bluestone boots? It looks like Arkyl's going for an aggressive lane, which I dig. It's not your traditional stacking lane. These are power spike themed builds, so bluestone will help out with the early kind of landing phase. If you do land any kind of poke, whether it be your backflip or your weave, anything that's extra bluestone damage on top of that, the boots is going to be into a boost 3 power spike on the first back. Warrior Tabby being like 40 physical power. It's going to be a huge power spike compared to your natural stacking build that Ataraxia is going. So he
Well,
could
what is
play
the
off that.
stacking build though? Because we've not really seen much of this. Is it going to be Devour's Gauntlets? Are we going to
That's
see Soul
definitely
Eater?
Devour.
or-
Yeah, no.
Not Soul
Soul
Eater?
Eater's dead for Season 3. Don't do it, folks. But Devour's Gauntlet's definitely still good. I respect that Ataraxia is bringing back the Season 2.
So why have we not seen Soul Eater? Why have we not seen Devour's Gauntlets so far? What's the reason we've not been seeing it as of late?
Transcendence builds are just easier to transition into.
Okay.
And Devour's Gloves really, like, for example, let's say Arkkyl here backs for Warrior Type. He could go into Devour's Gloves next.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot harder to start with it just because of the theme of the build. You go Death Soul into Devo Gloves, but it hurts you early game because of the lack of potions.
Beginning of the game, 4.5 minutes in right now. Nobody died just yet. Doomob is online for Cherryo once again on that Janus. Going to pick that one up from himself. Once again, he's not been too worried about CaptainTwig's aggression in the mid lane and been able to deal with it so far so good in the past game and now this one. So going to go straight to the Doomob and get those stacks and mounting it already at 6 after just one wave.
Yeah, it looks like Cherryo is just kind of playing what how he did last time. He is just abusing the fact that he's not really getting pressured. Even in 1v2, he still thinks that, you know what, CaptainTwig on Thor is not really doing too much. Let's get the Doom Orb, let's get the power spikes going, let's get big.
And a lot of questions to be asked this season about these two teams over in Europe. Nobody's really sure about their positioning. Everyone is estimating Hungary for more to be mid-table-ish, if not pushing on for the top 4 spots. Leftovers were expected to be near the bottom, but at the moment...
Yeah, they're considered like a last place team.
For the most part, that's what a lot of people have said. And Leftovers right now, I mean, they're up 1-0 against Hungary for more and put on a good performance that last game.
I feel like Leftovers is like NA's enemy, right?
Right.
Like, I feel like Young Badgah crafted a team that could potentially do well if coordinated correctly.
So if that's the case, will Badgah kick this whole team in the summer?
Yes.
Definitely.
Easily.
100%. Wow, Variety takes a lot of poke here. Going to have to trade out with Nika. Ultimate from Nika to avoid getting stunned there. Variety's going to get hit by the World Weaver coming out from Arkkyl, which will connect in Cherryo for the cleanup crew.
Beautiful. Cherryo able to pick up first blood, but the fight is on. Remember, Nika's ult is down. CaptainTwig going around. The stun is clear. Double tap mechanics.
Mechanics double tap does connect on the left-hand side. Ataraxia under pressure has to use the purification to disengage. Jungler looking for the monkey toss, doesn't find it. They get a bit of poke pressure onto him, but Ataraxia will be fine there. Why did Nika stay in lane so long?
I don't think he realized the rotation. Might have been a lack of communication, which is, it's common.
Yeah.
Especially, like, the whole focus there was the first blood. They got it Cherryo's credit with the first blood, and Cherryo might have just, oh, by the way, CaptainTwig's right there. What? Boom. Dead.
Fight over the mid-Harpy's going to be forced to reset. The snipe hits onto Cherryo there from Prime. Combination was in there, combines nicely. Jungler, though, is around the back, putting pressure on Prime. No ultimate available, but Prime ate a lot of poke damage by Jungler. Jungler executed that well. Somersaults away, but Thor is in the sky. CaptainTwig's looking to come down, trying to close the gap. Wall, double tap does not connect thanks to the purification coming out. Flip from Sobek on Badgah to be able to go and put the pressure on. Once again as Twig being forced away, lurking in the waters, chasing down, no hammer available. Boom goes the dynamite as Sobek appears once more. Badgah takes out Twig 3-1.
The biggest thing was, like, I didn't understand why PrettyPriMe with Zindurn actually went for that fight. It was, even though, like, it was Athena damage and Raw damage. Raw doesn't have enough damage early on, especially with no form of power spike. It was a Doom Orb that's not been stacked yet. So not enough damage coming out, even with the Raw snipe connecting. So that actually baited out PrettyPriMe to get caught out, and he died to the jungle. Like, without CaptainTwig, they shouldn't be going for any kind of kills or pressure unless, for sure, PrettyPriMe calls out, like, hey, Zindurn, we can kill. I just hit my power spike, which would be Pen Boots or Spear or Obsidian Shard, whatever the case may be. So that was really where it kind of went all downhill for them.
Okay, so right-hand Harpies do go down, go in favor of Leftovers once again as you see Badgah rotate to mid lane. Just going to pick up the wave there. Cherryo wasn't in position right now. Just going to retreat back to the red buff on this side. Both teams just doing the red buff at the moment, Allied.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's just kind of getting the buffs that they need to get. And we do have an invade coming out. Nika looking on the blue side of the map. He's aggressing onto the Rarity's buff. He actually takes it.
Just held that Prana roll slot as well. So Nika going to pick that one up for himself and just retreat back and say, hey, Variety, nice buff, bruh.
This is what you need to do as Rob. You need to put on the full aggression, take the buffs, take the objectives, and just make Soul Lane hell for the other one. Because it can be rough, especially against early game Rav. He's gonna beat you up.
Gonna put the beat down on you. 8 minutes in, and the game's still continuing 1-0 in favor of Leftovers in terms of how this game's gone. Most people probably didn't put Leftovers to win at least one of these games, but maybe you've gone for a split. We'll find out. I'm sure you'll all tweet at me and tell me I'm wrong for my predictions as usual. As Twig goes to the sky, looking for an ultimate down, potentially someone. He was looking at Cherryo, and Cherryo with the master baiting tactics.
I mean, that was beautiful. Able to, not only he waited on the side, portal came out, immediately knew when CaptainTwig was going to land, and Cherryo with really like that was
beautiful.
so much. Yeah, it was like. It was really great reaction.
You said this earlier, 160 ping this guy plays on too, so he has to predict this even further.
I can barely play above 60 ping without feeding. Like Cherryo doing this with 160
Jungler going to go aggressive on Twig now, knowing he's got no ultimate away. He does jump to the hammer, but World Weaver's coming. Prime block it. He does do so through space and time, misses as well. Zindurn ults him to try and get to a defensive position. Snipe goes out from PrettyPriMe, does not connect with Jungler, who disengages and gets away. Everybody still alive for now, but a nice little skirmish.
Solo lane, we have a little bit of a dive. Nika just putting on the pressure, really. He's on the tower line, slapping, and he finds himself with a nice level lead going into mid-game here. I want to see if Nika can just keep up the pressure, keep going for the objectives, because it looks like PrettyPriMe and CaptainTwig, they shouldn't be able to respond to any kind of solo lane pressure anytime soon.
Zindurn misses the taunt on both targets, gets plucked into Arkkyl, is going to put some poke pressure on with that bluestone. Double tap from Twig, does not connect as he jumps to his hammers onto Arkkyl. Arkkyl backflips away, support now from Cherryo there, so Twig's in trouble, has to juke it out. Curse goes off from Badgah for the tail whip, but the heals are there for Prime now. And now Badgah's going to be able to have to retreat back here, because Cherryo and Jungler, though, are here to support him once more. They're not going to find anything, however, at this stage. They're still looking for that ball on the left.
Yeah, the big thing was Jungler wasn't there to respond, or else that would definitely have been certain death for CaptainTwig, as he took so much damage with PrettyPriMe there with the clutch heal and the support of his team. Yeah, nothing really happened. But honestly, that's still fine. They're getting Leftovers getting so much pressure out on the jungle. Each lane has great pressure right now. Leftovers playing the pressure game correctly as they keep getting more and more of an objective advantage.
Twig combining nicely in mid lane to get a snipe off of Prime onto Cherryo, but now he's under pressure himself. Gets bursted heavily, but he will survive thanks to using his ultimate to disengage for now. Zindurn going to rotate in mid and help support and clear out this wave once more. I mean, this raw pick as well, Allied, the thing that's surprising me most is Isis wasn't picked or banned at all.
I mean, like, it's been so much emphasis on this raw pick, and I get it. Cherryo can, you know, heal and play raw. Like, I got that down, but, like, after his Janus performance, it's like, fam, come on. We all know that Janus is one of the best mages in the game, and raw isn't as viable because of X, Y, and Z reasons. We get that. There's limitations. So I understand they're trying to limit Cherryo's comfort pick, but it was very obvious going into Game 2 that he was going to Janus again. So obvious.
He gets it again. His Doom Orb is already at 50 stacks. He's got his penetration boots online, 1-0 and 1. Cherryo doing good work in the mid lane, and currently one of the highest levels in the game, as that goes over to Nika at the moment at level 13 with a small advantage over Variety in this solo lane. Arkkyl gets some good poke on Zindurn, who's under pressure, gets his ultimate off, but it won't be in time. Jungler credit for the kill after a good rotation, and Cherryo's still hunting for a little bit more.
Too much DPS coming out. Zindurn immediately ulted, was actually not CC'd at all, but it was just too much damage, and he wasn't able to channel the ult in time. And yeah, like the jungler's rotations right now, his pressure is being seen. He has 2 levels over CaptainTwig, who seems like I said, if Leftovers played the laning phase correctly, it was very clear from first game they have the better laning phase. Easily.
Nika gonna get a good route off onto Prime though, which forces purification. World Weaver was used by Arkkyl there to try and combine, looking for the overall kill. Well, that's on cooldown now. They're gonna pressure mid here.
I love this tier 1 pressure, taking out the tier 1, opening up the map. You want to really open up the map here so you can set up for a goal for your coming up. So, and they did this the first game as well. Really, Leftovers doing a great job taking towers, taking objectives. Look at this.
Yeah, it doesn't
so
just
aggressive.
By taking the mid tower, it doesn't just open up like the goal for you. It opens up the whole jungle potentially for potential invade. Twig going to go to the sky. Arkkyl gets taunted, backflips away. That backflip on cooldown means Twig may dunk down on him, and he does. Purification goes off. Prime with the snipe doesn't really find a home there. Twig disengages completely from that engagement as Cherryo supported Arkkyl from round the corner, and Arkkyl just returned to farming. Hungry for more, do not find a pick. Trying to defend their own jungle. Or do they? Because now Arkkyl backflips away again. Zindurn under pressure there. They're looking for the pick on Arkkyl. Badgah now surrounded as Ataraxia gets the credit for Arkkyl. Badgah looking in the waters here, but Jungler fakes up a kill for himself. Ataraxia gets a double, but Nika is here too.
Yeah, Ataraxia is really pumping up the damage. Very taking too much damage. Nika's in, however, be able to confirm that kill. The root is out. Nika gets that double kill. Great rotation and great cleanup, which looked like a disadvantaged team fight for Leftovers.
You asked after game 1. Listen, Nika did not have a very good first game. He struggled in a lot of situations there. Give him something like Baloney, you said. They gave him Raven, picks up a double kill, 2, 1, and 3.
Yeah, I'm down, and he's really showing that he understands this matchup, and I'm definitely going to call the first game like this was the SPL Week 1 jitters, and we've all been there, we've all done that, or at least me, you know, casters. But really, the biggest thing here is that Nika stepped it up. He's a big boy. Game 2 came in with the Robin fresh, put the pressure out, and he's making an impact as he's top damage right now with this early game Robin, making it shine.
Top damage. I can't say anything now. You just killed me on that. I'm like, okay. I'm trying to think of a decent comeback because that's very rare that happens. But I don't really need one because you got kicked off Envy.
Okay, I've retired, fam. That could go either or. We all know that.
Just to be clear,
I worded it
they
correctly.
kicked you off Envy, and then they realized the mistake may not have been you, it may have been Weaken, and you still don't get back on the team.
Oh my.
What does that tell you?
Oh my.
What does that tell you?
Savage.
Don't come at me, fam. Especially when we're in EU.
No.
7-3 is the scoreline right now. Gold Fury still stand at the moment, but the lead is definitely leftovers. And the team that was estimated to be 8th position this season, more than likely over in EU. They're playing really well.
I love this. Yeah, like their strategy, their coordination, they're all on the same page. They're doing what they got to do, and I love it. I love leftovers.
That's the biggest story this season for EU is that the top 1 and 2, you probably can put down Pantera and Paradigm and be 95% correct. 3rd through 8th, you ain't got a chance of really knowing.
I mean,
where
Hungry
these
for
teams are
more.
gonna go.
This comp already, like when we saw the team lineup, it was kind of sketchy. Like anything could happen. They could be last place. They can be like top 3, really, if they play their cards right and they're actually like show up. But leftovers, this is a whole different story entirely.
Whole different story. Big combination though, looking for the pick onto Nika, who's still alive. Got hit by 3 ultimates and still stays tanking Variety. Under pressure, Twig goes to the sky. Gonna create a zone just by using that ultimate because nobody wants to be dropped onto. Twig ends up going in, doesn't find a target. But once again, Hungry for More being stripped away of their jungle and losing these trades.
Yeah, I love this. Really, the engagements coming out. Nika might get aggressed on.
Well, Arkkyl's doing the Gold Fury while that fight was all going on. Ataraxia tries to rotate to the team fight. Gold Fury's been reset as Nika under pressure again, but Nika's still very, very tanky. Turns his attention to Variety. Variety, no ultimate available for now. Zindurn comes in, potentially looking for a taunt here. Not going to find one for the time being as Twig gets forced away. Arkkyl giving chase on the Neith. Neith should be able to bring down Twig and does do so. Arkkyl gets credit for that one as Cherryo picks up a double kill onto Zindurn and Variety, both fallen. Leftovers have control of this game.
Yeah, Cherryo, the god, able to dish out so much damage on the stands. Honestly, I'm taking notes. Really, he's doing such a good job with his DPS, managing his cooldowns, and effectively helping his team get ahead as Leftovers confirmed the Gold Fury 60 minutes in this game.
60 minutes in the game. Leftovers, like we said, full control, 8,500 experience. Sorry, yeah, 8,500 experience, about 5,000 gold in the lead as well for them. This doesn't look like game 1 at all. This just looks like the confidence that Leftovers got from winning that game is paying off for them.
Well, really, so the early game is similar as an ult goes down, Ataraxia just gets erased from existence. And the big thing there, he didn't have his relic available.
They're going to try and turn this, though, are hungry for more. They're going to use the ultimate, sorry, teleport in for Variety, but Cherryo on point with the through space and time for his team to get out.
And that's the thing, he has the presence of mind of always being there, always helping, and that's also the power of Janus. This character choice is just too good, especially for Cherryo. Cherryo's really, and I want to give a huge shout out. I mean, this guy was a jungler, and he switched roles completely.
Well, originally he was a support player.
Yes.
Originally a support player for Justice, then ended up going to jungle for Justice because they had roster issues there. Played jungle for a while, ends up on London Conspiracy as a jungler. This season, back into the mid lane.
Yeah, and really he's shown up. Like he's doing everything you need to do. He's doing it perfectly, and it looks clean, fresh, and lag-free. Really, because like a lot of the stuff that he's doing, I'm so surprised. 160 ping plus. I know I've harped on this, but like anything above 100, I consider unplayable.
Basically waiting now for what Hungry for More are going to do in response, because for me, Leftovers are just pulling them left, pulling them right, pulling them back, pulling them forward, and Hungry for More just reacting, but not finding anything to these reactions, where Leftovers are still abusing the fact they're pulling them around the map. It's just a rough situation now for Hungry for More. Just, is it because of the pressure of that first game and how that first game went? Does that factor in a lot?
Because so the story of first game was like Leftovers completely dominated the laning phase. Look, honestly, Cherryo jungler are just. It looks like they are just a better mid jungle compared to PrettyPriMe CaptainTwig, and that's not like a knock to them. They came definitely way more prepared and way more hungry to win this game, as it shows like with their picks, their team comps, and really, so game 1's draft for Hungry for More was a lot nicer, but this draft now for Hungry for More, it has me scared.
Has you scared indeed. And to be fair, they're going to have to play scared for now because this lead is starting to get a little bit out of control. Neith over in the duel in level 17 to the level 16 of Ataraxia. Ataraxia doing his best to stay in the mix with this one. His Devour's gauntlets are fully stacked now, has the chins online, so his power spike is most certainly there now to join it. But leftovers, 3 members on this side of the map trying to pressure, force a rotation from Hungry for More. And you can see the Hungry for More is starting to try and group up to defend the tier 1, which is already fallen.
Yeah, CaptainTwig taking a little bit too much damage. Jungler whiffing the ult, but the snipe is even better. Cherryo.
You what, mate?
He read the fact that he read that Jungler was gonna miss his own ult into the snipe. Like, just yeah, Cherryo is bae.
Is he cheating?
Yeah, he has to be. He's
like,
so good.
He's pre-played this game. That's what's happened. He's seen it from above. That ult was insane. I've not seen anything like that, but I'm like, he expected that to happen. He expected his own jungler to miss the ult.
Yeah.
like you expect your own jungler to miss the ult and then gets the snipe off because it was like, no, bro, fam, I got you.
Yeah.
Man, I wish Envy's mid laner was like that. Allied.
So do I.
You're not, though, are you? Well, because you're not Envy's ally?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Nice. I can tell you mad.
No, you hit me. You hit me, so I got to fire back now. You know? It's just the way it's going to be.
Just a little bit of banter. Come on, Hindu.
That's the way it is. Yeah, that's the way it is. I only take it as banter. I'm never offended easily. Kappa. Jungle cleared out by jungler there. Going to get some more control on this left-hand side. Arkkyl quite happy to keep pushing. They're looking for a tier 2 potentially on this left-hand side because Nika's having a whale of a time over in the right-hand side. Not really going to worry about Amaterasu at this stage of the game just yet. Amaterasu definitely one of the ones more better in the team fight scenarios. When Variety's tried to turn up to them, he's not really had much of an opportunity to get involved too much.
The biggest thing is his impact's been a little bit low. He's had a couple of decent initiations, but it's really coming down to the fact that Hungry for More can't get anything concrete going as leftovers. They have pressure everywhere. They're doing the correct objectives, and they're just snowballing their lead from early game. It's going to come down to a huge throw like it was the first game, and we would see another 60-minute game. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but if leftovers play their lead correctly, pressure the towers, and don't go for anything too crazy, they should have this game theoretically in the bag.
Still farming and stripping the jungle is leftovers, and they're positioning in this jungle as well. They're looking to try and find somebody out of position. Ataraxia, sorry, Zindurn takes a step forward with the taunt and gets annihilated. There is Cherryo for the cleanup as well. 3 members of leftovers combined as Zindurn tried to make something happen.
Standard, like flip, body block, blow up the
deletion. Nika, though, a little bit too far forward here, going to get pressured on by 3, but last time they did that, they didn't find the kill there. Jungler hovering around the side, looking to jump over the wall on that Batz. If he finds a fear, no evil. Yeah, it is. On to Ataraxia, who's under pressure. Nika comes in too. Going to keep the rest of the team back as Variety gets a stun off of multiple targets, but he will fall down. Snipe goes out from Prime at the back. Not enough damage to find a kill. There was Nika gets credit for Variety, and Hungry for More have to retreat as leftovers. Well, they're going to retreat to once again strip the jungle, get the Gold Fury after taking the tier 2.
Yeah, like some teams might have even gone for the Phoenix there or anything crazy, or the tier 2, which is weakened, and I love what leftovers do. Instead of going for a Phoenix play or a tier 2 mid lane play or anything crazy like that, let's take red buff. That's a huge amount of power
the gold
in terms of PrettyPriMe, and then they take the Gold Fury.
About 1,500 to 2,000 gold on every single one of those players, so why not go back, spend the item, get a bit of an advantage?
You want to get as many items as you can as quickly as possible. I mean, it's 21 minutes in the game, still early, but it looks like Hungry for More. I mean, there's no Fire Giant wards. Could they go for it? No, they decide actually just back and get
we always get to the point of the cast where
they get scary. They all group them over there. I'm like, they could theoretically, they could do it. I mean, Ataraxia is a big boy. He's 2-1. He has a lot of attack speed. But yeah, like I don't know, not going for anything too risky here.
And that's the funny thing here, because when you got a raw, when you get to the stage of the game and you feel like leftovers definitely in full control, what does the defensive team do? I hate asking that question, but with the comp they've got here,
they need to set the pace of the game. So when we
they've got to keep going in.
When we talk about Hungry for More, they have initiation. They have so much initiation with the taunt.
Initiation from the taunt and the pressure. Was snipe hit from onto Badgah from Prime. Fear no evil though is in a good position, going to force Twig into an awkward one, and the unravel from Arkkyl does enough damage on its own to get credit for the kill. Variety getting poked heavily by Arkkyl, who's doing a lot of damage this game right now. Will Weaver being channeled by him, going to actually connect onto Zindurn, who body blocked the shot. Meanwhile on the backside, there's still pressure is round the corner, comes Jungler on the Batz. Somersault hits 4, overhand smash hits 3, monkey bounce hits 2. If he jumps to it, he could potentially find Zindurn, and there he goes, jumping in. Not going to find the killing him, turns his attention to Variety, who's still in the fight, and Badgah and Jungler combine for Badgah to help him set up for the double kill, looking for the triple. Greedy Jungler. Greedy jungler.
He's feeling himself. I think
Yeah.
he understands the nature of the situation. We got the Phoenix. I'm going to swag out real quick. All right, it's out of my system. Let's get ready for the Fire Giant. I love this. They're actually just going to take the tier 2, recognizing they might be a little bit low off that engagement. And Leftovers just playing insane. And like I was touching on my point before, that was great. But I think it's a little bit too late now. They have too much of a lead. Leftovers just kind of playing off the snowball. As really hungry for more, when we talk about initiation, they have Athena dash taunt, we have Thor initiation, and we have Amaterasu, one of the best initiations in the game with her ult. And it really didn't get used at all this game. And then by the time it did finally get used, a little bit too late.
Well, right now, Hungry just trying to clean up whatever jungle they've got remaining. They know the Fire Giant's still standing here, but not really in a position to defend it here. The experience lead is just too monumental as well. When you look at it, you can see a 3-level difference between the solo laners, a 4-level difference between the junglers, 4 levels in the mid lane, 1 level in the supports, and 2 levels in the Hunter or Leftovers are in full control of this one and hungry for more. Well, on paper, their team names suggest that the red team should have won this series, but it looks like the Leftovers were just too much for those hungry men.
I think the Leftovers, oh my, this pick on Verity, he has no idea what's going on. The dash is out. He's going to use the movement speed here for a little bit, but the pluck by young Badgah might be more than enough. The ult, just to get away, might be able to delay some time. He's
Nice
joking.
Nika.
Nice movement.
Nika with the overhead kick there just to avoid that final stun. Sets him up for it, and that will open up the Fire Giant. Twig trying to split push left-hand side here, get himself some farm. They're not going to be able to defend. Maybe a snipe from Ataraxia could save the day. Horsey going to go in. Nope, he's going to get zoned out by Cherryo, of all people. The mage be in the front line, and Badgah goes through that portal looking for the charge play, not going to find it. Cherryo's portal usage is so good.
Oh yeah, he's a god. He's a god in the making. Very excited to see what young Cherryo does growing in this season, because this might be his breakout season.
He's opening up not for himself to go through, but for his team to go aggressive with.
Yeah,
His
you learned
jungler.
from me. I did that on Xbox.
No way.
I did.
You played Kulkan. That's all you ever played.
Janus too.
Pick onto Zindurn. The pull comes in. Zindurn gets annihilated through the Fear No Evil as well. Thor is in the sky. Where's he going to look to dunk down to is the question. It's going to be on Badger's head and Jungler's head. The snipes come out from Ataraxia, but it's not going to find him a kill as Arkkyl takes out CaptainTwig. Varieties respawn, looking to try and help out his team.
That teleport.
But Cherryo teleports through, picks up Ataraxia.
No. He teleported away from Verity, and then he jumped over the last tick of the ult for the stun, and he's able to survive at 1 HP.
Minions.
Baby Rage.
Fire Minions pushing down the mid lane now. They're looking for a potential pick onto Prime here, but it doesn't matter. They should take a 2-0 win here right now over Hungry for More. Leftovers, potentially the weakest team, as many have said in the EU Pro League this season, have taken away 2 games on opening day of Europe.
I mean, they looked hot. That was
good.
I was so impressed, really, because when we were talking about this team, it looked like just some ranked warriors thrown together in. Badgah's just like, I'll just get whoever. But really, you could tell that Badgah really kind of understood like who he was picking up, and he trusted each one to their role. And honestly, this mid jungle of Cherryo and jungler, amazing.
That's really combined well. Well, Cherryo got first blood at the beginning of the game and had a great performance all the way through. All we really did was sing his praises the whole time. Cherryo overall this season, like Super Regionals before that, he'd had an okay season on the side of London Conspiracy. Had some decent plays here or there, but nothing too much. When he got to Super Regionals, he just went off and everyone was just singing his praise like, yo, Cherryo's really good.
Yeah.
And he's taken that from there.
Yeah, the biggest thing is the transition from mid lane. The story is, can he keep this up against especially the more veteran teams, the more seasoned teams? Can he keep up the same level of performance? And that's really the big question here, because right now, by the looks of it, it looks like Cherryo, like, you know, he was definitely outskilling the opponent. Now against the more even skilled opponent, like, let's say Yaman. We'll see how that goes.
Where would you rate Cherryo on the scale of the mid laners in Europe?
It's hard. It's hard to judge. It's still the first week.
Okay.
I want to see like week 2, week 3 Cherryo versus some of the Titans, and then I'll give an accurate
and his teammate in the mid lane, Jungler, who plays the jungle role, surprisingly, used to be called Fails. He had a pretty good game for himself too. A good series overall there.
I just love their synergy. They felt a lot more intact on the same page. Well. Yeah. Shout out to Jungler Jukes.
Let's have a look at that little Juke in that game as well. So, talk me through this play, Allied. You're the playmaker here.
The biggest thing is he set his team up great. Burned down on Zindurn. Kind of went in here heavily as pops. He does get beat up here a little bit. Takes a little bit too much damage. So we do see Verity starts to go on him. He takes a little bit of poke, and there it is. He's on the Heavenly Reflection. Teleports to get away. Gets some space. The ult is down. The second hit. Jumps over the third hit. And able to survive here as the rest of his team cleans up. And really, the biggest thing is that he recognized like he was in danger, teleports away. He came back and he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna jump over your third hit of your
We've
ult
got
for the
your
stun."
good friend on the line. Guess who it is?
Is it young Badgie?
He's young Badgie.
Oh,
Badger, how you doing, buddy?
yes.
Yo guys, what's
Yeah,
up?
great performance today for you and the boys. Honestly, coming into this one, did you have high expectations for yourselves coming into this game?
Coming into this game, we definitely thought this was one of the more important games, seeing as I think in the end of the season we're gonna end up around the same placement, so it's kind of important winning these kind of games.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, where do you estimate your season's going to be this season? What's your hopes for it? Is it just avoid relegation fights, or is it try and get to the top 4 potentially? What's your estimations for your team?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be realistic here, and I mean, when I made this team, my expectation was to get into SPL, and then now it's just to stay out of relegation. The first split is kind of just to learn as a team, and we'll get better over time, hopefully.
It's very humble, and really, it shows that you guys are definitely a learning team, but you guys are hungry and strong, and I'm very excited, and I love you, young Badgie. But the biggest thing is, how do you feel about Cherryo? He's really made a breakout in the mid lane. I mean, he was a jungler beforehand. How do you feel he's been performing here, as he's really been a superstar in the mid lane?
Oh yeah, he's definitely transitioned into the mid lane very well. He played great this set. They banned out his Ra because his Ra is also nasty good. So yeah, he might draw some bans.
Well, I'm expecting, Badger, with how the season's going, we're going to be getting a few more interviews with you and the boys. Congratulations for today. Do you have any shout-outs before we let you go?
Definitely shout out to my boys, Arkkyl, Felis and Cherryo, and of course the girls, Nika and Luna.
Always to Nika. Nika, the girl of girls everyone dreams of. Thanks so much for joining us, Badger. Good luck in the rest of the season. And that is Leftovers defeating Hungry for more. But we're not done today yet, Allied.
We're not.
Guess what? You've got another set.
Can't wait.
Guess how long it's going to be?
80 minutes.
Find out if it's 80 minutes after this break. We're going to see Fnatic up against Dignitas, both with roster changes, both with fresh faces.